What is up, everybody?
What's going on? Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's Tuesday. I still have not gotten into the swing of what day of the week it is.
We have a deep absence today. Alex Moss will not be joining us. First time ever. So it is with sad hearts that we say, Alex, we miss you. We'll see you next week.
That's right. He's not ill or anything like
fine.
that.
He's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this is going to be Nate and Chris tonight. Made the mistake of not calling each other. This happens all the time. Where we just wear the same clothes. He came over to my house one time. We both lived in Ohio. We wore the same stuff, and we were both like not even the same shirts and pants, but they were also equally wrinkled.
Yep.
Yeah. My wife thought that was funny. I think she wakes up laughing to that still.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll get a kick out of this as well. Yeah, Jordan, that intro is sick, and I wish that I could take credit for it, but that's Alex. He was a video guy in a past life, and so that's just that's like 5 minutes of his time. Should take me a couple of weeks to put something together like that.
Oh yeah, no, I would never be able to even land on it.
Yeah,
it's I love that. It's a little loud. Aside from that, it's great.
Yeah. So this evening, guys, it's going to be kind of relaxed and chill. I'm sure Nate and I can offer a little bit of banter, but of course, we're here to take your questions, chat about anything, online arbitrage, tactical arbitrage, Amazon. Hey, we can delve into just about anything. I do. So it was too late to get 100% approval from one of the friendliest, legit geniuses that Nate and I know, Xavier San Juan. But he's got a new feature that came out in Tactical Bucket, and I'm excited. I'm going to go ahead and like share it because it is so cool.
Nice.
And
in case anybody doesn't know, Tactical Bucket is a well, part of it is integrated with TA. Tactical Bucket has been a really important asset with TA, very symbiotic relationship where they've helped provide a bunch of awesome things like XPaths and other things that make TA function really well. But it also has a very underpriced monthly offering. It's for advanced OA users. It's like some of you might not even understand half the stuff that's being sold there. But once you do, there's some really cool stuff over there at tacticalbucket.com. Check it out. And Javier is a great guy. Yeah. I would send him money just to send him money.
Right. Yeah, Javier is a great guy.
And if you get to send Javier money and get a subscription, that's
right.
That's just icing.
But yeah, we definitely want to know what your guys' questions are, and then do us a solid and smash the like button or the heart or something. It helps the Facebook algorithm, helps the YouTube algorithm wherever you're watching. It gets us out to a few more folks, and then of course make sure to subscribe on YouTube if you're over there, because we kind of do this just about every other week. So
we took a little bit of a hiatus there. Where did we go? Have we been off for 1 week or 2 weeks?
I think it's just been 1 week.
1 week? Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me see. I'm going to try to open up here on my old iPad. Try to open up where I can see the comments. Every time I try to open the comments. Here we go. All right, cool. Yeah, guys. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. Chris, you want to just share your screen and show that new feature?
Yeah. Let me pull it up here.
But we're just going to talk and show what we think is cool until you guys have questions. And there's also some questions that were asked in advance that we can just kind of load up here if we need.
Oh, yeah. There was a couple of good questions. I believe in FBA Today where I posted we'd be doing this tonight. Let's see here. Let's do this one. Okay. So, so I am sharing the screen here. Okay, so inside of the product search, if you have a Tactical Bucket subscription, now I have what's called God mode. Okay. So what I'm able to do is I'm able to have every single XPath, which is an additional site that you can install into Tactical Arbitrage. So I can fish ponds that are less fished by you other fishermen. And I get every single one that Javier's created, okay, with God mode. And with this new feature, what I can do is I can go in and I can choose this automated XPath. And then I can create myself an easy bulk list, and this will pop up here. My screen goes so slow when we've got video on. But I can use these easy bulks here, which are unnamed at the moment because this feature is literally just came out today. And once I select all of these, I can create a scan. Okay, you create your filters and everything like that after you have the easy bulk in here. Actually, I already have this easy bulk selected. You'll see that if we go to the manager, oops, not the manager, sorry, the save and edit screen. Well, what you'll see in there is a bunch of numbers, just 1 through 500. Okay, automated X paths. All right, and you set up your filter products or your filters. You click on the search button, and then what we get to do is this is essentially an always be scanning for the X paths inside of Tactical Bucket or any X path that you have. And what this is going to be able to do is it's going to go out and randomly select some products or some sites. It's going to look for some products at those sites and pull back anything that fits your criteria. Okay. So what you will be able to do, let me pull up the right one here, this one. What you'll be able to do is a couple of things. One, you can find some profitable products at places where not a whole lot of people are going to be sourcing. Two, because this is random, you're going to find them from all over the place. So you may find a new honey hole just by coincidence. You'll see here, we've got this automated XPath. You can't even see the name of the site until you click through. And this one's not going to be super profitable. I made the filters very wide, but we've got agile joints for dogs and cats. Looks like a match, okay? And it's by Pet Wellbeing. And if we open up the sites, we can see 41.73 compared to 69.95 on the buy box. Would be about a 35% return on investment. So now I've looked at this one already. It's probably a private label product, but it's at a site that I've never heard of. Okay. It is at.
Is your screen lagging?
Yeah, my screen is lagging real bad.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say. How about, can we try, are we able to just isolate the screen and take you and I off? Maybe it'll save us on some bandwidth.
Yeah, let's take a look here.
Yeah, maybe there we go. Now I can see it better.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it did here. I know what it did.
Yeah, it froze.
Let me.
Yeah, Edith, it's coming here in a second. I think we're having an issue with the bandwidth or something.
Let me share this instead.
It's gonna be worth it. This is good stuff.
There we go. So
there we go.
Now, once I've set all the filters, I get to look at data like this, and we're going to see that we've got sites that you don't normally see, and you'll actually see here there's automated XPath. This is actually one of the premium XPaths, okay? And we can see some Calgon air conditioner coil cleaner. This something here is something that I would be interested in because I bet you it's hazmat, and let's see where this is coming from. So this is coming from Macomb Supply Company. Never heard of it. And so I may have just found a little honey hole, and I could go and then start another search for just Macomb Supply. And I won't go into a bunch of them because I'm not going to give away all the sites that are inside of Tactical Bucket. But this is the kind of thing that you can do, and it's just going to go out and find products for you automatically from all of the different sites inside of Tactical Bucket, which I think it's amazing. I mean, it's sort of like Always Be Scanning, but it's for a, I think he's got almost 200 or 300 sites now in Tactical Bucket, and so I can go and drop a line in each one of these ponds and find honey holes, find new products that I may not have thought about. Heck, maybe even category. Like I sell a lot in health and beauty and personal care, and I don't really do much in automotive. But there are a couple of automotive things that look to be like they might be profitable, and maybe I want to look at that. So really, really cool feature in my opinion. And I'm just not sure. I'm not sure when it's going to be 100% ready, but that was given for me to test.
You got that early bird access.
I got a little bit early bird access.
That is the fishing analogy. Just nails it on the head. I mean, if anyone's been selling on Amazon and you've been sourcing products, that's just one of the things that a lot of people are always trying to avoid. And it's not just about finding more leads; it's about finding leads that are going to be less visible and less saturated, so you're going to have a better chance of them selling through as quickly as you expected. And it's just wildly advantageous. So if you're making a profit right now with OA and you're really trying to scale and spend more on products, you got to check out Tactical Bucket. It's awesome. I've heard no complaints from anybody that has gotten it. Again, it is a little bit more advanced. It's not like you need it for TA to work, but and we're not getting paid to talk about it right now or anything. It's just an awesome, cool add-on. And especially if you're trying to just, like Chris said, expand beyond the available stores, the Targets, the Walmarts. And yeah, so if you guys are new, if you take away one thing from this, just understand that XPaths are something that you can add into TA. You can use a service like Tactical Bucket, or you can have them built custom through Tactical Bucket as well, if you'd like.
Yeah.
And you can upload them into TA, and then only you and whoever has those XPaths, which isn't going to be the entire TA user base, can source from them. So it's really, really cool. A lot of people have created their own blue oceans that way.
And something to take away from that for newer users, that's without you having to go and get another piece of software or something like that, is one of the things that we see most common is you get into Tactical Arbitrage and you go and you scan Walmart and Target and Kohl's, and all of the scans are for the clearance sections, and then it's like, well, I can't find anything. That's where everybody parks their boat to go fishing, and when they first start. So
we got to simplify it because Jerry said that it was too complicated. Sorry, we try to keep it as simple as possible. But yeah, it is awesome, and like we said, it is like next level stuff, so you don't have to worry about it if you're not there yet. Couple of questions. What are some of the signs of PL products? That's what I'm not sure who asked that.
So
John asked that.
Some of the things I look for is a lot. If they know what they're doing, they're going to be brand registered, and you're not going to be able to get approved to sell it anyway. But if they haven't been brand registered, I like to look at the history on Keepa or Tactical Arbitrage. And if you see one seller for the past 6 months or a year and a half, it means that they're probably really active in getting anybody off of their listing. And they're the only seller. The other thing is like that premium wellness that I showed, or the pet well-being. The name brand of the product was also the name of the seller. Or I bought a dog, a harness for I got a 100-pound dog, and he's tough to take for a walk. So I bought him a harness, and the brand name was like Rabbit Goo, all in lowercase. And that's private label, Rabbit Goo. So
so there's a couple of factors, just taken together as a whole. There's not really one perfect way to tell, but over time I guess it becomes easier to identify those PL products from the pack.
They've got you got lifestyle images where you can tell it's some photoshopped person running through a field happy or something. There's all kinds of little things.
All right. Christine says, so I just synced. Where are you pulling the auto site from? I think that was when we were talking about the God mode. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So I believe it pulls any of the XPaths that you may have installed from Tactical Bucket. I have something called God mode, so I have everything. That's available to everybody. That's not just for me, but it's by invitation only. You got to have a special code to be able to get that, and it costs more, but it unlocks everything in there.
Is there XPaths for Tactical Bucket and another add-on for additional XPaths?
Tactical Bucket, he creates XPaths. XPaths are just an additional site that you can install into Tactical Arbitrage. And then he's actually made it so easy that there's an extension where you just click on the extension and it auto installs them for you instead of uploading them one by one, like I had to do when I first had my very first XPath created. But XPath is just kind of it's kind of the way that Tactical Arbitrage speaks to websites, because a lot of e-commerce websites run on XPath, which, if I'm not mistaken, I have very limited knowledge of how it works, but I think it's pretty much like an Excel spreadsheet on the back end of a website for all their products, and then Tactical Arbitrage can talk to that, and that's kind of the language that it needs.
Is this a new product or old? I believe that's referring to Tactical Bucket, and it's been around since like 2017 at least, right?
I think so, yeah.
It was one of those things that Xavier was kind of making for himself, for his own sourcing, and he put it together into a nice little offering that other people could take part in. And yeah, he's got a really small user base, but the people that are in there are in love with it.
Oh, yeah.
If you create your own XPath in TA, will it get published in TA eventually? That's a common question. A lot of people are wondering. So like, if I get the XPath, is it guaranteed to not be put into TA? And no, that they're not connected. And Alex doesn't promise anything about, like, they add the sites that they're gonna add. There's no it's not like they're intentionally going to take the sites from the ones that people bought with Tactical Bucket, but they might. It's just what happens organically. If you found the site, they might find the site. There's always trying to make it better, but there's just no way that they can possibly add as many as you can get made yourself, or that you can get with a service like Tactical Bucket. It takes a while for them to implement, and then you got to troubleshoot it and all that stuff that goes into that. So no, if you buy it, I mean, usually you can obviously see if it's already in TA. If it is, you don't need the XPath for it. But there's no real like guarantee that you'll forever be the only person with it, or that other people haven't had it built as well. So it's something to consider. But for the most part, I've only had a few times, I think, where people made an XPath and then it got added to TA. But yeah, don't be mad at Alex if you buy an XPath and he adds it. There's definitely no ill intent there. It's just the natural way of what they add and what they don't.
Alex like never looks. He keeps like a wall there, but I think they go on like Alexa rankings. So if you were to pick something that has a really high Alexa rank, and nobody probably knows what Alexa rank is on the site, but it's very possible that Alex's team would be like, hey, we're going to create this site.
Yeah, there's a million ways to find websites. What's that one? Built With. Have you ever seen that? That's actually got some really cool features.
Built With.
Yeah, Built With. You can see like certain tools that are built in certain ways. And that I'm not actually sure how Alex goes about finding the new sites. A lot of recommendations and stuff, I guess, maybe. Who's Xavier? Xavier is just a really nice guy. He's the owner of Tactical Bucket. And he's the one that runs that pretty much by himself.
Yeah, he doesn't come out in public often. He's not a video guy, but he'll whenever conferences start happening again, I'm sure he'll make it to one. over here in the States.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, see, I've got Corona hair. I have not been able to go out and get a haircut.
The beard is looking full.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been compensating for the beard, for the hair with the beard.
So I'll be honest. While we take a little break from some questions, the other day, I couldn't take it anymore. I won't go out and get a haircut, but I couldn't take it anymore, and so I sort of had a Britney Spears moment, and I just like took a 6 to the top and
doesn't
just
look bad. You've got a great hairline.
Yeah, thank you.
It looks good.
But yeah, my wife found me outside cutting my own hair, and she's like, "Stop!"
Did you didn't Flowbee it? Did you? My father-in-law is big into the Flowbee.
I don't.
You could check the keeper rank on those, or check the keeper chart on the Flowbees. Those things are soaring.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't buy a Flowbee. I think I don't know. We got one of the ones that has the colors, and so I don't mess up. And
yeah,
that was very nice.
I always try to trim my beard with one of those, and it always something ends up happening, and then I end up shaving it all off, and my wife doesn't talk to me until it grows back. Like a lonely couple weeks. But yeah, all right. So we had some other questions. This brief intermission. If anybody has to go to the bathroom or anything, now's the time.
Here's one from the YouTube. So Tactical Bucket has a bunch of wholesale. So you just run the scan, then ask for a wholesale account when you find something. So Tactical Bucket does not have like pre-built wholesale accounts that you can just run, because wholesale XPaths are specifically sites that require a login. Okay. So if you, one that I can give away would be, shoot, I always forget the name of it. Anyway, Moteng, Moteng or something like that. It's like a sports wholesaler that if you got a pulse, they'll give you an account, and you you have to log in behind a paywall. And so Tactical Bucket will create an XPath for that specifically, and then you can scan that site like you would a product search via the wholesale. Let's see. We've got another question here on YouTube. Question on tap. I'm having trouble with start and stop pages with a bulk list from Tactical Bucket. So I'd have to know a little bit more, but I'll be honest, you can delete start and stop pages from that CSV file because Tactical Arbitrage can figure those out automatically.
It's a great word.
Let's see.
Does the Flowbee work? He used the Flowbee on me one time, and he's got a great haircut. When I used the Flowbee, when he used it with me, I didn't come up with a good haircut. But I've got, I'm working with this. So
do you have a cowlick?
I have like one cowlick. Have you ever seen Sawyer? Sawyer has two. He looks like two hurricanes coming at each other.
See, I've got one in the front that's like real bad, and then I've got another in the back, and so like nothing looks good, and that's why I always wear a hat.
That's hard.
Yeah.
See a lot of that.
Let's see. Does TA scan Shopify sites? Yes, I have seen some Shopify sites that have been able to be scanned via Tactical Arbitrage. Well, I won't give it away because I've bought a fair amount from this particular site. But yeah, I've scanned Shopify. Yeah, right. I've scanned Shopify sites with Tactical Arbitrage before.
How do you guys stay on top of all of your products and their status when it gets into the hundreds, from an inventory standpoint or like a sourcing?
Yeah. If you expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, it depends if you're talking about inventory, if you're talking about like filtering data in TA, or just expand on that a little bit more and we'll come back to it. Great. How do we get them added?
I would reach out to Xavier.
Yeah. So if it's an XPath or if it's a Shopify site and it's not in TA already, reach out to either Javier at Tactical Bucket, or you can go on like Upwork or Freelancer, find somebody at a more affordable price. Or he's pretty affordable relatively anyway.
Yeah.
You can get somebody to develop them for you, and then installing them is pretty easy. I think Chris has got a video on YouTube showing you how to install them. Super easy. But yeah, it's not hard. But I would start with Tactical Bucket, check out their website, reach out to Javier and ask him if it's even possible the site that you want. And if it is, he will let you know, and you can go from there.
How do I delete this? How do I delete the start and stop page from the CSV file? You're going to open the CSV file, and there's going to be a start column and a stop column. Just highlight those two columns and, make them blue. Highlight them in the, if they're B and C, highlight those, and then just hit the delete button. And that will do it for you. The listed inventory. I think that using an inventory management tool like ScanPower or something like that is probably going to behoove you. But there's so many different ways of managing your inventory. That's a tough question to answer well. Like, do you need to replenish all of those? Do you need to are some of them just one-off clearance items that you're never going to worry about again?
Yeah. Like when you're RA OA, it's a different ballgame than when you're PL or wholesale and you have the same things you had to monitor. Because sometimes with arbitrage, you aren't planning on going back in stock of certain things, certain one-off types of deals. So yeah, it can become a bit convoluted. Hiring a VA is an awesome option if you can get somebody up to speed. Let them know what type of insights you're looking for, what type of permissions you can give them to work on your site or to work on your Seller Central. But yeah, tools like ScanPower. ScanPower is really popular for inventory management. It's not as Inventory Lab kind of wins the big battle because of marketing and their reporting for tax purposes. But ScanPower is, anyone that uses ScanPower loves the big thing they love is the inventory management. So I would check that out. But yeah, it is always going to be a bit of a process.
Yeah. One of the things that I do is, so my prep center has like an Airtable that has all the products that I've sent into them that I can sort in every which way. So like every 30 days or so, I'll go back to the beginning and I'll start looking to see if there's anything that I can replenish. Just seeing if it's still profitable, if it's something I would still buy. So there's that. It's a big juggling, thing with OA. I don't know if there's really a super great process.
I guess coming up with your replenishables, understanding what those are and prioritizing those first can kind of make the big data a little bit smaller. You kind of get the 80-20 out of it there. So you're making sure that your replens are back in stock and everything else is less important. So if you miss stuff, it won't be as big of a deal. But if you miss your replens, you could be losing a lot of money.
And Amazon's replen tool is actually not bad. It's not horrible. So it's something to look at. Is there?
Can you hear my child screaming right now?
Yes. Is that Van?
That is Van.
Is it? I thought so.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it I hear his mom yelling too, so I know that he's safe. Or I'd have to go check. But so I think he's more in trouble than anything. But yeah, I just want to know if you can hear me. It's much louder than you can probably hear. This mic does a good job of getting just the front volume. So if you hear it, that means it is really loud.
Yeah, I heard him. Is there a module in Tactical Academy about Tactical Bucket? I believe so. Yes. I know there is stuff about Tactical Bucket in there. I have also done 2 hour-long or hour-and-a-half long webinars on YouTube all about Tactical Bucket. just because that's, it's more public facing stuff in there.
Yeah.
So there should be plenty of content on Tactical Bucket. It probably deserves an update because there have been some new features and things like that. But Tactical Academy videos, they are updated as needed. So like when Always Be Scanning came out, I created a video on Always Be Scanning. But a lot of the original videos are still in there because the format hasn't really changed, and the mechanics are pretty much the same.
All right. Greg, what up, Greg? Have you guys seen a decrease in availability of gift cards on sites like Raise and other comparable ones? I found that to be the case these days on my end. On the same breath, have you guys found retailers have been giving more discounts since COVID started, or the other way around?
Here we go. So there's an interesting graph. See if I can pull it up here. Close out some of these. It sounds like a fun scream. It doesn't sound like I'm in danger.
No, it's neither.
Good.
Yeah, no, it's something's going on. I'm sure it's super arbitrary. Like he has to. Somebody called his sucker, or somebody called his lollipop a sucker the other day, and he about lost his mind, about burnt the entire house down.
I get it.
I
get it.
Very picky and choosy about what sets him off, and probably a sucker lollipop type situation going on right now.
So I'm gonna show this graph here at Gift Card Wiki. You can see that the inventory for Target gift cards, which is typically pretty steady, has gone down significantly. Up here on March 23rd, total inventory for gift cards was 538,000 and some change. And over here in June, I mean, we're down, 80% almost to 64,618 in inventory.
Solid on that resource. You were Johnny on the spot with this. I didn't know there even was such a graph.
Thank you. So, and we can see that the trend for the discount is also coming down significantly, of course, because the demand is probably still there, but the supply is dwindling. So they get to increase their margins when they're selling it. So I've seen that all over the place. I've looked at a bunch of different places.
Your econ game was good tonight too.
Oh, thank you.
You eat your Wheaties?
I did. I ate my Wheaties, and I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Did you?
Yeah. But so that would be why that's happening. I don't know whether it's because people are not giving gifts during COVID or what, or maybe they're just gifting masks. I have no idea. It's obviously related.
Yeah, it's obviously related. That is very interesting.
So, but the exact reason that it's related, I'm not sure. Or maybe people are using them to buy toilet paper and groceries instead of
there's also
selling
a lot
them on
less,
the marketplace.
Gift giving. Like when you give a gift card, you have to be face to face with somebody, so people aren't having birthday parties and graduation parties and stuff. So yeah, I mean that makes sense. I hadn't really thought about it too much. It's interesting. Good point there, Greg.
It's not like I could Amazon you a Target gift card,
Right.
So
Jackie has another question. Also another question. I don't use Buybot Pro. I use AZ Insight. Can TA add a button for me to open my FBA calculator from the table? I'm not familiar with AZ Insight. I know what it is, but I'm not privy to it.
So I would be honest, that would probably be something faster for the developer of that particular tool to do. I know that you're not an IP alert user, but we created a symbol inside of Tactical Arbitrage for IP alerts so that it pops up on the screen. And so you can actually insert a button inside of Tactical Arbitrage from that side. And that would probably be much faster than having Alex do it. That Buybot Pro, that took months to get done just because there are other things going on. And right now, Tactical Arbitrage is switching from the current code to something called, I don't know if it's Laravel or Laravel, but to try to make things faster. So I know that the dev team is like stacked with work.
Yeah. I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. Is anybody using BuyBot Pro? It's a cool tool, but I don't hear a lot of people talk very much about it in the TA world. I know there are some integrations there, so I'm curious if people are using it. If you're using it, let me know in the comments.
Yeah, I have used it a little bit and I liked it. It seems a little on the expensive side, but I know that it has a lot of stuff going on, and then I know the guy who like is one of the creators. He's UK based, so I think they might have a larger user base in the UK.
Yeah, that's what's his name?
Matthew,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's got a decently big YouTube channel.
Yeah, I can't think of his last name, but
I feel bad too because I like know him, like talking to him.
yeah, and I can't think of his last name.
Matthew Warbley, Webley,
Weebly, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Edith,
I hope he's not watching because he's a nice guy.
I know he is a
I should definitely know his name. This is not me not knowing him, or this is him not being someone who I shouldn't know. It's me having the memory of an old man at the age of 30.
Exactly. Yeah, we both have early onset dementia.
It's from each other.
Yeah. Oh, but he's a good bloke. Let's see here. Edith, when you submit a product search and instead of start new search, I select a new store, it seems to add to the current search. Once you've submitted a product search, it's gone. It's gone into its own process. So you'd have to start a new search. If you just select a new store, it might look like it's adding it to the current search, but that current search cannot be changed once it's already started. So you'll want to hit that start new search button. And yes, Amazon they have a replen kind of alert system where you can set up like how far in advance you need to order and things like that, and then it'll tell you here's how many we think you should replenish. So it's not perfect. I've always found that I need to order more than what they say. I had a replen that we were probably selling, I don't know, maybe 250 units a month of this one particular product. And it was always telling me to reorder like 75 or 80 units. And so you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, but it gives you a good lead time.
Yeah, Amazon's not quite Google with their free tools yet, aren't they?
No kidding.
Yeah, they have an intern whip up all their free things. Like, oh, does it work? Never mind. Take it back. Is there a way to present a filter in TA after a search has run so that when I go to view data, I only see what is within my buying criteria?
On the view data page. So if you set up a filter from the product search screen or the reverse search screen, you can save that filter as a preset in the dropdown. I'm gonna not go back and forth sharing my screen and stuff because it just lags and whatnot. But you can actually save that filter. Now in the view data screen, if you're going to further filter down with the on screen filters on the view data, it can also save that as well. It'll actually automatically save, and that's what will show up next time. So there's kind of two ways to do it. It just depends on what you want to do. Yeah. Let's see, from YouTube. Hey there. For sellers starting off like myself, we aren't shipping many items. Due to base rates, MINs, it's pretty hard to estimate per pound shipping right now. Any way to account for this in tactical arbitrage? You're going to have to overestimate if you're. So here's the thing: you probably should hold off until you have like a box full. Okay, I wouldn't ship in just 5 items unless maybe you're sending in some books or something. But if you can only spend $100, then go for it. Just realize you're going to have to find some items with some higher margins because your per pound shipping rate is going to end up being higher, especially if you're using distributed inventory placement rather than using inventory placement, being able to get it all to go to the same place. So there's a couple of things that you might do. One, you could turn on inventory placement, and it would end up costing you 30 or 40 cents more per unit to send into Amazon, but you might get it to all go to one place. So you'll need to account for that. And then you'd probably be looking at somewhere around 50 or 60 cents per pound to ship to Amazon at that rate, because it'll probably go somewhere pretty close to you. Let's see here. What software can I use for sourcing in Mexico? Tactical Arbitrage. Tactical Arbitrage will do US to Mexico, Mexico to Mexico. You could source in Canada and sell in Mexico, all kinds of stuff.
Did we miss a question? Oh, Alex Moss is here. Hello, Alex.
Hey.
How do you pronounce his last name? Mose?
Mose? Mose is.
I'm going to butcher this. Is it Alex Mose?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the accent really throws me off with the pronunciation of that name.
All right. How many hours? Did we answer the VA question? How many hours a day do your VA work?
I don't think so. No, I must have missed that one.
It depends what you have them doing. Personally, I don't have an Amazon VA right now myself. I do have a couple of VAs that do admin stuff for me. Probably about just like 12 to 15 hours a week at this point. And then I have freelancers and stuff that do other things. It depends. If you're going to have them source, you might as well have them source as much as you can if they're continually finding leads. I mean, if you hire someone from the Philippines, if they're the rate that you pay them shouldn't, I mean, you don't have to worry about going like cheap, bottom of the bin, as low as you can pay. If they're finding good leads for you, a good VA can be worth a lot more than they're going to have as their base rate inside of something like Upwork or Freelancer. Mm-hmm. But if you're having someone just do inventory, it depends how big your store is, but that's definitely not a full-time job. That's like maybe an hour a day, maybe.
And you can get creative with it. Like I know some people who have had VAs for a really long time, the same VAs, and they're loyal and they're good people, and they don't pay them an hourly rate. They pay them on a per lead basis. And they have some very strict criteria, and they pay them on a per lead basis, and they're happy and they're paid well. And it works out long term because they end up making more per hour. But they're also, giving some better quality items as well. So don't ever be afraid to get creative.
Yeah, and pay your people what they're worth. A good VA is hard to find, especially once they can use TA at a high level. Mm-hmm. Keep on paying what they're worth so they don't go and do it for someone else because there's someone else who would pay them more.
Yeah, and don't just think about VAs that way. I had a lady who was doing some prepping and shipping for me here at home when we were doing retail arbitrage in Q4, and I offered her two things. I said, I can pay you $12 an hour. I said, or I will pay you 50 cents per unit to prep it, pack it, and ship it. And she said, well, I'll take the 50 cents per unit. She's like, I think that'll probably save you some money. And she's right. It saved me money in the fact that, she got through really quickly and she only worked for like 4 hours a day. But on the other hand, she was prepping like 80 units per hour. And so I ended up paying her $40 an hour, so it was fair for her and it was fair for me.
Yeah, that's a win-win. Chris Rasick said, took advantage of the sale on IP Alert. Where can I find instructions to integrate with TA?
If you have it installed, then it integrates into TA automatically. In the view data screen, you need to have the brand column turned on. And if you have the brand column turned on, then you'll either see a small green, it really looks like a green circle as small as it is, or you'll see a little red dot, which is the alert symbol.
Alrighty. Yeah. So you took advantage of our Father's Day sale. Sweet.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, Chris, but I do not have in the TA left side Mexico to source. I do not have experience with that.
If you have a North American MWS key installed, it should be there. Either shoot me a message. I probably won't be able to answer a PM tonight, but you can either shoot me a message or you can send in a note on the chat at the bottom right-hand side of TA, and somebody, most likely Julie, because honestly, she's the one who does the heavy lifting on the service side.
She's a boss.
She is a boss, but somebody can look at it and see what might be missing there for you.
I know I've asked Chris this privately, wondering what Nate thinks. I currently have a VA training with TA going through Chris Green's book. Chris Green has an update of the book coming, by the way. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
Part of Christopher's online arbitrage challenge, which I am super excited for him to be launching. It's going to be awesome. Would you recommend anything else for him to go through? I mean, that feels kind of like an alley-oop for the Tactical Academy, so I don't want to always say Tactical Academy, but I mean that when it was created with that in mind, that it wasn't just for the person who bought it to go through. We wanted them to have their team go through it, because a lot of you'll make more of your money doing things besides sourcing. It might be your Amazon business shouldn't rely on you to be the sole person doing your sourcing. And if you can teach somebody how to use TA, you can go out and worry about bigger things, other businesses, bigger things you want to work on. But yeah, Tactical Academy, we have to start there because that's our product, and we know it's the best one on the market. Tactical-Academy, you give your VA that, have them go through it. You can verify that they went through it. And if they do, they will be in the top 1% of people that use TA by far. People that have gone through Academy are just always more long-term TA users. They don't cancel because they know how to use it. That's the big reason that people cancel TA is because they overwhelm. But things like Tactical Academy really help shrink that learning curve. Oh, Jordan, he is doing the Academy. Oh, then he should be good to go. If you want to learn even more, you can have him tune into our webinars. We answer questions. I mean, that's probably the next phase of his learning, is asking his specific questions. I know when you go through courses, that's good, but then when you have specific questions, sometimes you need to get a real human answer. So yeah, that engage in the Facebook groups. A lot of great YouTubers out there. Chris Grant's got a bunch of free YouTube stuff. But as far as like sourcing goes, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't try to overdo it. Let him start to actually get some practice in and all that, and start kind of critiquing the work from there on your end. And that'll probably be the best way to really train him overall. I don't think there's too much more he needs.
Nate, do you have some links for? I know you've written an article or two on like Google Sheets, haven't you? Jordan, that's the only
one of my most popular articles has like nothing to do with my point on my website. My website's about entrepreneurship, and my top articles are like cheapest shipping methods and Google Sheets tips.
I saw one of your most popular articles was actually a book, like a PDF, which was
PDF, yeah,
super smart. But Jordan, I might suggest having him read some of Nate's blog posts, especially the stuff on Google Sheets, because I mean that's what you guys are going to be in. And like I'll be honest, whenever I have a Google Sheet issue, like Nate's who I go to, and being able to do things inside of there and make things look pretty are going to be important. Why you guys have a VA relationship.
Yep.
Let's see here. Bruno, this is from the YouTubes. I'm having difficulties finding FBA products with tactical arbitrage. This is something that's very common. It looks like FBA is good for retail arbitrage and label product. I'm not sure what you mean by and label products or buying in wholesale. Yeah, it could be private label products, I guess. So yeah, wholesale is a great model. Private label is a great model. So is retail arbitrage. And one of the largest sellers I know has a massive retail arbitrage operation. Dan, um, uh, I
Wentworth.
don't know. Yeah, Dan Wentworth. They've got a great retail arbitrage operation.
Yeah.
But online arbitrage is just as feasible as any of those other models. If you're having difficulty finding product, I would imagine, without knowing exactly what you're doing, that you might be looking for some home runs. When I really think that this business is built on singles and doubles.
Yep.
Finding a product that makes $3 in profit and sells 10 or 15 times a month, and then doing that 120 times and selling through all of that product makes you a lot more money than finding one product that sells 10 times a month at $50 in profit and doing that 10 times.
Very well said.
So
I mean, that's the big thing is a lot of people want to they have really high margins that they want, and they want to win on every single product really big. And like you said, singles and doubles are really the more realistic and more feasible way, and the results can be the same.
exactly.
Actually, you'll have better results because you'll actually stick with it. A lot of people want the home runs, they don't get them, and then they leave. The turnover in this is pretty high, unfortunately, which is part of the reason why we do things like this every week, because we want to reduce that, because it is very, very possible. It's just a matter of knowing the information and implementing it, and a little bit of luck in there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that luck is when those singles and doubles, you'll get a grand slam every now and again. So those should be considered bonuses and not what you're looking for every day.
Yep.
Let's see here. Just finished the academy, super helpful, awesome. Thank you, John. Do VAs need Seller Central access to watch Seller Central University? I don't believe so. I believe that's free to watch for anybody. But if they did, what I would do is those videos are all hosted on YouTube somewhere. And so I would give them links. Let's see. From YouTube. Should I source OA in Prep Center zip code? So if you are using a prep center, if you mean by like trying to figure out sales tax and shipping, then yes, you'll want to make sure to do that. So, for example, I use a prep center in a tax-free state. So in a couple of the stores that I source often, I've got that shipping saved, and I know that the tax is going to be zero. So yeah, you definitely want to take that into account, because where I live, the sales tax is 7.5% if I were to have things shipped to my home here, because not all sites are going to take my resale certificate. Where Nate lives, it is, I believe it's 7% still, unless they've changed it since I moved. And in Oregon, there's no sales tax. So, I mean, it saves a good amount of money, especially when you're if you spend $100,000 a year and you can keep 7% of that in your pocket, it's a lot.
Yeah. Really changes the margins.
Yeah. Chris, are you planning to launch TA Bootcamp? So, Nate and I have Tactical Arbitrage Academy. So I think that a Tactical Arbitrage Bootcamp would probably be overkill. Like we put some serious blood, sweat, and tears into Tactical Arbitrage Academy. However, there is OA Challenge, which is starting on July 6th. There is going to be a tactical arbitrage aspect to that, because, I mean, how can you not talk about tactical arbitrage and online arbitrage? They're like peas and carrots.
It's like a math class without numbers.
Exactly. But online arbitrage is going to be it's going to be a soup to nuts kind of deal.
There we go. Who had soup to nuts on their bingo card?
It's going to be a holistic approach where we talk about everything online arbitrage, and it's going to be good for new folks and more seasoned folks over the 14 days. And so that's what the OA challenge is going to be about.
That's going to be awesome. The OA challenge is going to be hopefully, something that gets a lot of people that are kind of on the fence doing Amazon in general to kind of hop in and really see some results. It's going to be awesome. I've seen the inside of it and the layout, and it is going to be really, really good stuff. Hopefully you guys are excited about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a lot of effort into it because I want it to be the best challenge out there. I don't know if there are other challenges in the Amazon space, but I want it to be awesome. So I'll be putting some serious time into that for you guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. What else do we have? All right, we're coming up on the hour. We'll go ahead and wrap this up, Chris. If you guys have any other questions, you can ask them in the comments. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, leave us a reaction. It could be a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever it is. Just give us something so YouTube sees that you are watching. If you have any questions, leave them down there and we will come back to answer them. Or someone on the TA team will. I forgot it's going to be on the Tactical Arbitrage YouTube, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It'll get answered. Get answered. But yeah, you guys will be here at the same time next week, most likely.
Yeah, 8 o'clock next Tuesday, guys. So, Nate, thanks for being here, man. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Cue the outro.
Nice, man. Good course.